Hello everybody, PsyStarcraft here with another StarCraft 2 combat. Have a bit of lag, that's for sure. A Zerg versus Protoss on the map Taldarum Altar. It's going to be vilePsY on the top right, that's myself as the blue Zerg. Against DREAMlegosu in the bottom right as the red Protoss. Now Dream is a team that I haven't really heard of too much. I think either a Vilo or a Taro is on that team. Now Vilo and Taro aren't the best of players, so that doesn't really tell you much, but I think they're kind of an average mid-tier team. It's just kind of cool playing against someone on a team that fields players that you know of. So we'll see if this guy lives up to Dream's reputation as being adequate, or if he's better than that in this game. I am in the top right, and last time I played this map, last time I casted this map on Zerg versus Protoss, I actually got cannoned out right here. So you're going to see this game when I do my fast expansion, I'm going to be very careful not to let the Protoss put 1, 2, 3 pylons there and block me out, because I mean, last time it happened I ended up winning with some cheesy Nidus play, but it's still terrible to let that kind of stuff happen to you. Also, when I am drunk, I have a super bad habit of not keeping my overload over my expansion when I do fast expand, so I'll be extra careful now to make sure I do get my overload right here, and especially this area here, because that's where Protoss usually like to cannon, so keep your overload about down here so he can see this area below. Now we can see I'm at 15 supply. The Protoss is going Forge first, and my hatchery is now going down, so my first obstacle has been hurdled in that he wasn't able to block it off with this probe, which actually scouted in the wrong direction, and I was able to throw it on my hatchery when I wanted to. I'm going to build up to 15 out of 18, and I'm not going to build up any more than that because I do see the Forge. It would be dangerous to go up to 16 or 17 because that would give him that much more time to get a probe in here and start some cannons building. And you know, when you see Forge first as a Zerg, you got to be super careful. I'm pulling an extra drone off the line. I'm checking for any kind of cannons because I saw that Forge man and I am scared as hell. This Overlord a bit out of position, but I'm remembering, okay, I need to bring this back. I need to see if there are any cannons building. And also I've got a drone just kind of following this probe around. So I did have to pull a couple drones off to do a little bit of dancing around with this probe, but that's fine. Now I know he's not going to be cannoning me out, and instead he takes the Nexus. Now, was this his intentions all along? I don't know. He might have tried to cannon me if I didn't have my drones on him, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I got what I wanted, and he kind of got what he wanted, probably. So we're in a solid opening game right now, and that makes me happy. My gas is up. I like to get my gas around 17 drones after I drone up a couple of drones after my spawning pool is being built. And now I've got 4 lings out, mostly just for scouting purposes. He's just now getting his gateway and throwing up a photon cannon as well. You can see 2 queens on the way, so pretty standard opening. Now, what a lot of Zergs enjoy doing after they see a fast Nexus like this, which I did not actually scout, is taking a super fast third. Now, Zerg don't have a great base to take a third on. This one's pretty vulnerable. I guess you could take this one. I'd prefer this one over this one. They don't have the best third to take on this map, but I haven't even scouted it, so I don't know if I should take a third yet. Am I going to see it? I do see the cannon, and yes, I do see the third. Now, I can be aggressive on my 2 base play, or I can take a really fast third. Those are basically the 2 options as a Zerg player. We'll see what I do this game. And actually, he's just now getting a Cybernetic score. He's not wasting any money on a Zealot, and he doesn't have a cannon close enough to attack these Zerglings. So this gateway could actually go down. I've got 1 Zergling up here not doing anything. 3 Zerglings now. It does take a little bit longer once the shields are gone because it has 1 armor. And this gateway might actually die. Wow. It's possible. It's going to be pretty close. I needed to bring this Zergling from the tower. It would have been a lot less close to brought the Zergling from the tower. 50 health. The cannon comes up. 1 Zergling down, and the gateway actually dies. That's actually a pretty significant blow. That's got to be so annoying for Legosu. That the gateway dying so early to 3 Zerglings just because of a misplaced cannon. And he's forced to throw out another gateway. He can't make any units right now. He wants to make some sentries. He wants to make some stalkers. But it's just not going to happen. And I only lost a single Zergling. You notice the whole time I've been making drones, I realized, okay, one of his gateways is gone. He has no production facilities whatsoever. I'm not going to make anything but drones. It's now 35 to 35. And, you know, that's the power of the fast expanding Protoss. they can just churn out drones just as fast as a Zerg can. You have to wait for, you know, those specific injects. That's a pretty fast layer, actually. And that could be part of the reason I don't have a lot of drones either. I'm on 4 gas already, only at 44 food. I'm already at 4 gas. And the reason for this is after killing that gateway, I went, or after I realized I was going to kill the gateway, I went layer right away because I knew he'd be slowed down on his production of every type of unit. And I decided I'd go for mutas, and you can see the Spire is on its way. I'm going to have a lot of gas to get these mutas. I'm now at 43 to 41, and remember, 12 of those drones are on gas. Mutas are pretty strong. They can be strong against Protoss as long as you don't commit to them for too long. I mean, if he gets Colossi with Stalkers, the mutas aren't going to do shit. You're going to need Corruptors in that instance. But, you know, it's good to get maximum of 12, 14, 16 or so. They can do great harassment jobs, sniping off High Templars, sniping off sentries, stuff like that. And we'll see how well that works. I've got it kind of hidden in the middle of my 2 bases here. We'll see how well that works. You see I am saving up a lot of money for my mutas. This is really the only time as a Zerg player, whoa, what's with the choppiness here, that it's okay to save up money is when you are waiting on a tech structure and you plan on mass producing a specific unit. And here you see I am taking my 3rd. So the 3rd was a tad slow considering the Protoss made a quick second Nexus. But I attribute that to getting the really, really fast Spire and getting those mutas out. So I kind of balanced the 2 out. I balanced out aggression with my fast 3rd. We can see 8 mutas are on the way with +1 attack. He has no idea this is coming. He knows I have the expansion. He knows I have nothing else, really. That's about it. 47 to 49. He's now pulling ahead on the harvester count, but these mutas hope to equalize now. It's to be expected that he'd be ahead on harvesters because I sacrificed a lot of drones on getting this tech. But these mutas are on the way. 8 of them. That's going to be so damn dangerous, man. I've even got 2 more on the way. And a lot of overlords. Always notice I'm at about 15 ahead on supply at all times. It's very important as a Zerg player to do that. Just so you don't get supply blocked if you want to make a massive unit in reaction to something your opponent's doing. But here come the mutas. Check out the units tab. 5250 drones down to 49 probes. Only able to take out 3 or 4 probes now. That could have gone a bit better if I would have, you know, come in from a different angle to try to cut off his fling with his probes. But still, I delayed a lot of mining time and I killed a couple of probes. So these mutas haven't quite paid for themselves. But they're going to generate a lot of map control, a lot of threat against my opponent. He'll be kind of afraid to move out, and they're still going to be effective this game. You know, despite his composition being pretty geared to take out mutas. And now I'm going to be doing something this game that I don't do in a lot of games, and that's going to be a tech switch. Ooh, that was lucky. Saw that over observer. What the fuck is this fucking lag? Cocksucking motherfucking dick looking fucking fuck. Ugh, and he's not even got any units here. Still 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44 probes. Now 44 to 64. These mutas haven't done any damage to his army, but they're giving me a significant lead here. Do I have any other tech structures, though? I can't just stick with mutas. No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. I have a Roach War. That was built a long time ago, and that's what I meant. That's something I don't often do. Sometimes I'll get super, super stubborn with whatever tactic or strategy I'm using that I won't change it at all. But this time, I learned my lesson. I've got my Roach War up. What's he going to produce when I have a Spire out? Probably not a lot of Colossi. Probably a lot of Stalkers and Sentries. What can you do against Stalkers and Sentries? Well, you can get some Roaches. Oh, I'm getting 9 more mutas. That's kind of gross. What can you get? You can get roaches. I mean, if you out macro your opponents and you get a lot of roaches, you can do pretty well against this composition. If the sentries force fields are nice, they can kind of suck. So that's why Hydras often play a role against an army type like this. So Roach Hydra. But you know, this time I'm going to try my luck with roaches. You can tell because there's no Hydra den. And just try to out macro him. Now 73 to 48. Now, I mean, he hasn't even tried to attack me yet because there are so many mutas. He's going to be stuck in his base. Now he's going to move out. Pretty good timing. I have 9 roaches on the way. Sentry's much, much slower, though, picking off 1 sentry. And some lag, and 2 sentries, oh, and 3 sentries, and only losing 1 or 2 mutas. That's how good mutas are, man. Picking off 3 sentries. I just reduced his force field count by 12 just by doing that. These overlords, though, are really fucking stupid. And still, I'm winning the macro game. I'm winning the probe killing game, and I'm going to come in here and try to kill some of these probes. Now, at this point, Toss can do 2 things. This is another great thing about mutas. You kill off a bunch of probes, and his army is nowhere near. He has 2 options. He can try to cut his losses and run back with his army, and stop your mutas. But if he does that, he's going to submit and say, okay, I'm going to play at a huge disadvantage this entire game because you just killed almost all my probes. Or he can go for the all-in attack, which is also good for you because as long as you're prepared, you basically win the game when you defend it. So it looks like Legosu is actually going to run back. He doesn't want to go for the attack for some reason and try to stop these mutas. But look at all the probes I'm killing. I killed, what, 4 more probes or something like that. And I've killed 15 workers this game, and he hasn't killed a single one. And this is the beauty of the Mutalisk. They can just be everywhere, man. Even if he did attack, you know, I'd kill as many probes as I can, try to stall as long as I could, fly my mutas back with my roaches and my zerglings, and try to defend. If we check production, I'm still producing tons of roaches. Infestation pit is up, getting +2 attacks. There's the pathogen glands, and I've said it before, but if you have an infestation pit and you're researching pathogen glands, you want to wait until 30 seconds has completed to get your infestors. That will allow them to pop out with that extra 25 energy. Muta still being super annoying. Check out the harvesters, 72 to 46. I could probably stand to go up to about 80 harvesters, but I guess I didn't really keep track of how many I had. There's my 4th base while he's still running on 2 bases. Notice I have an overlord checking out this base. I flew over this base multiple times with my Mutalisks. And what is he producing? He's producing some immortals, and that's because he has an observer right over, smack dab over all of my roaches and zerglings. Now down to 69 harvesters. So yeah, my harvester count is a bit low. Is he going to move out now? 131 to 195 supply. However, he's got a pretty good army to counter my roaches, stalkers, and force fields against roaches, zerglings, and mutas. And here we go again. Is he going to move out? Oh, it looks like he's going to try to cut off my mutas. He has blink, but he just couldn't catch them in time. And this is also stalling him some more. He can't really move out right now. It's got to be so annoying. Lots of infestors being produced. I don't have any neuroparasite right now, which would be good. However, I haven't spotted the immortals. Plus, you know, blink stalkers, they can just blink in and kill the neuroparasites pretty easily. Still just stinking around with these mutas, being so annoying. I haven't even trained any mutas for the longest time, but these guys are still paying for themselves just by keeping him on his toes. It's so awesome. Oh, just imagine if I saw these sentries. That would have been sick. 4th base is up, going straight for the gas. Got any drones on the way? Nope, no drones on the way, so my saturation in this game has been a bit poor. You got to keep track of your drone count. Just, you know, just go like this. Go like that on each base. So what, 16, about 19 or something, and then like 18 or whatever. Those aren't the exact numbers, but that tells me that I'm below about 65 or something like that. Yeah, 69, close enough. Just try to do that, and you can tell roughly how many drones you have. I had a couple going this way. That's why I counted wrong. But now he's going to move out. He's only got a single immortal, only 5 sentries for force field. Now just imagine if he had 9. That actually makes a huge difference, 5 and 9. I tried to get a fungal off before he could run, but he's got this observer just chilling up there. I know that observer's there. I just don't have an overseer to snipe it with right now, and he is going to attack. Now this isn't a standard Protoss death ball, so you don't have to worry too much about him being 200 against your 200. A 200 Colossus ball or Void Rays or stuff like that would be a lot more dangerous than 200 Blink Stalkers and a couple Sentries and an Immortal. So we'll see how this battle turns out. He is trying to snipe my Infestors. Not going to happen. Now moving in. Infestors, fungal growthing everything. A nice fungal on the right, nice fungal on the left. Mutas over top, trying to soak up a lot of damage. Infestors want to get in there and fungal as much as they can. Check out the production tab. Roaches being spammed non-stop on the production tab. Fungal's doing so much damage, not the greatest force fields at all. He spent a lot of it on Guardian's Shield, and it looks like he will actually take this battle despite all my roaches, despite all my fungal growths. Actually, he is really weak. My upgrades are 2-2 compared to his 2-1, and this is a pretty even trade. If we look at units lost, almost identical. I'm a bit ahead on that. Now it's almost evened out, but I am starting to fall. My army's starting to fall, but lots of roaches reinforcing, tons of roaches reinforcing rather, and this is something the Toss just can't do. I did enough damage to allow myself to reinforce and take out the rest of his army, so I do come out victorious in the end of that battle. And that's the power of you know, reinforcing, having a lot of larvae. That's a tongue twister. Against a pure stalker Protoss army. Now Blink is kind of the soft counter to roaches in the early to mid game, but in such huge numbers it's almost impossible to micromanage Blink. One thing he could have done a lot better there is force field my roaches out. He didn't do that at all, and that was a bit lacking. And we can see my Greater Spires on the way, as well as 6 Corruptors. I don't anticipate him moving back in anytime soon, considering my huge roach numbers when he actually started to flee the battle. It's now 191 to 91. These 6 Corruptors are going to be turning into Broodlords. He's going to try to find an expansion here, and check this out. I have every single base covered. I know he's not expanding, so it's still 2 base to 4 base. I'm not in any hurry to take a 4th base because I know that that's the case, and I don't want to waste any more stuff on drones. I could actually build another hatchery, just not saturate it until I really need to. He is going to take out my hatchery, only killing the queen. He's forced to run away from these roaches, and might kill a couple. He runs into right into this other group of roaches, and I should have waited to hatch these broodlords. He saw that I was hatching those broodlords. I did it right on top of him. That was a small mistake. But at this point, I have such a huge lead. Still only 66 harvesters, though. I could do better on harvesters next game. But I guess since he doesn't have a 3rd, you can kind of excuse that mistake. You know you have more saturation than he does because he's only on 2 bases. Actually, he's barely running off 2 now. He's still at 47. He never even reproduced those probes after I killed him. So 47 to 65. And in come the roaches. Now, roaches aren't really a good killing unit, especially against Protoss, so that's why I'm waiting for my broodlords. I probably could stomp in here. Oh, I don't know about those force fields. Possibly could stomp in here with these roaches and beat him, but I don't really want to try it. There's no reason to throw all these roaches away when you have such a huge lead. I'll just wait for my 5 broodlords. How about that? Now, I've said it before, if you're going to attack with broodlords, you have to support them. Blink Stalkers, not the greatest against broodlords when you have support for the broodlords. And watch what happens here. Now, let's check out my roach count. 24, okay, plus 22. He blinks in, he kills 1 broodlord. 2 broodlords. Looks like he's not going to kill a 3rd. Well, he did kill 3 actually, but what did he sacrifice by doing that? He blinked right into my roaches, a unit that has a short ass range, 4 range, and sacrificed all of his stalkers just to kill the broodlords. They were just sacrifices. I will let you blink into my roaches and kill all of my broodlords. I'll just let my roaches clean you up, and he only killed what, 16 roaches there or so? And that's what happens when you have broodlords. They mix things up. All those broodlings running around, blocking units, stuff like that. They're just so good. And, you know, that was GG. No GG from DREAMlegosu because he doesn't want to lose against some noob caster, I guess. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that game, learned a little bit. Mutas, very good against Protoss, as long as they don't just go fucking kill you. I did have those roaches as backup pretty fast. I don't think I was too vulnerable at any point in the game. Possibly, but, you know, that was a good one. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, GG! Man. GG, man.